Hi, good evening. For some reason, I was in the middle of making this video and the camera froze. I don't know why that happened, but it did. Well, it's fine. I can start again. And I was just talking about um, peated Islay single malt Scotch whiskies, particularly Laphroaigs. Um, Back in history, a long time ago, I was had to try peated whiskey because it was supposed to be the best thing ever. And I tried the Laphroaig 10, and it's got to be 20 years ago. It's a long time ago when I tried this stuff. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. And then at some point in time, I was pointed towards the Quarter Cask Laphroaig, which I also tried, but I didn't like it so much. I was not used to the high alcohol content, the alcohol burn. Now I love it, but at the time I thought the Laphroaig Quarter Cask was just awful, horrible stuff. Now I know better. Most recently, in fact, this very morning, I finished a bottle of Laphroaig Cardias 2014 edition, and the Cardias is like a Laphroaig, only some of it is aged in um, Amontillado casks, European oak. Um, I like my Laphroaig. Somehow, the Amontillado it adds some complexity to it, but it also takes some of the peat away by having the two going at the same time. It was a pleasant enough bottle. I did finish it, but I still prefer the Quarter Cask. The Quarter Cask is non-age statement. The Laphroaig 10 is nice too, but the Quarter Cask has a little more to it. Even though it's younger, it's got more peat. It's a stronger, higher alcohol content too. So I like the Quarter Cask. I was in fact going to get some Quarter Cask to replace the Cardias that I just finished, but I was steered in this direction here. This is the Laphroaig Triple Wood. Now, Laphroaig Triple Wood is essentially Laphroaig Quarter Cask. It starts out being aged in ex-bourbon barrels. Then it goes to the Quarter Casks for a quick maturation or a faster maturation because more of the whiskey is in contact with the sides of the cask. Okay, so Quarter Cask. But then, and that's so far my favorite Laphroaig, the Quarter Cask. But this one here is further aged in, it says European oak, and it's, from what I can gather, is it's ex-sherry casks because it says here, triple matured in ex-bourbon barrels, Quarter Casks, and finally in European oak to create a subtle marriage of peat, wood, and a touch of sherry sweetness. Okay, so it'll get some of that, maybe some bitter notes um, from the European oak, and maybe some sweetness from the sherry finish. So I'm going to give this a try. I'm curious because I've tried all these other Laphroaigs, which I like. Don't get me wrong, I like them all, but some of them are more favorite than others. And we got here the whole story of Triple Wood on the back here if you want to read it. I guess you'd want to read it if you got yourself one. So here we are. It's on here too. Former bourbon barrels, then Quarter Cask. Triple Wood's final maturation comes in large European oak casks. The result is a perfect marriage of peat, oak, and subtle sherry sweetness. Cloudiness when mixed with water, and so on, and so on, and so on. non-chill filtered, and natural color, as I believe Laphroaig usually is. It opens easily. The foil comes off. The cork goes pop. Yes. And we'll put it in a glass that was washed out with the former dram, which was a dram of Chivas Regal. So, yes, it has some of that sherry color to it. Coat the glass. Oh, right away we get peat. We're getting peat like the Quarter Cask. But there is a sherry note to it as well. I don't know if I can smell the bitterness, but I smell the sherry and I smell the peat. What else do we get? Dark fruits naturally from the sherry. Some dark fruits, some peat. Peat and dark fruits. A little bit of a briny note to it. Briny, peaty sherry. Pretty simple. Let's give it a taste. Medicinal peat. Tarry peat. But then there's the sweetness from the sherry cask. Not overly complex. You get peat. Like with any Laphroaig, you get peat. Now that peat will just overpower everything. If I have anything else to drink, I won't taste it because of the peat. Got a nice oily mouthfeel. Got the peat. A little bit of a salty tang to it. Full of flavor. The sherry adds the complexity to it that wasn't there with the Quarter Cask. This is one instance where the addition of sherry finishing is a good thing. It's not quite as sweet. It's nowhere near as sweet as the Cardias. Mouth-watering. Oh, it's good. I'm liking this. It reminds me, this is probably nice. It's nice. Yeah, darker fruits than the Cardias. There's raisins. There's, I don't know, more like figs and prunes. Not prunes in a bad way, but it's like, figs and prunes and raisins. And that's the fruits I'm getting in it. Then there's the medicinal peat, which is nice. Yeah, I like this. I prefer this over the Cardias. I don't know if I prefer it over the Quarter Cask. Well, it is bottled at a quite high 48%. 48% is about as high as I like to go without adding water. But let's give it a little bit. That might be too much. Give it a bit of water, see if any other flavors come out. I don't think there will be much because the flavors I'm getting from the whiskey to begin with are quite intense. And you've got the sherry on one side and the peat on the other, peat smoke. If anything, it's become fruitier with the addition of water. A bit fruitier, but the peat is still there. I haven't drowned it. It's still a full flavor. Yeah. Now I'm getting a little bit more of that bitterness from the European oak. Definitely a little more bitterness. Cranberries too. Just a little bit of cranberries, hint of that. Yeah, you know, I like this one. This is one where the peat and the sherry maturation, the European oak, the bitterness from the European oak, all of it comes together to give it just the right balance. This is very well balanced, and it has that complexity because you've got all the elements that are, you can taste all the elements. With the addition of water, there's much more, you pick up more. It's like it's like hearing all the voices of the choir and being able to pick out the voices. Yes, Laphroaig Triplewood, I like you. Slancha.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.